Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and I am here for Smash Battles with this young man.
That is me. What's up, guys? Arekkz here. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are back for some more Smash Battles. Remember, if you haven't seen the first episode, you can find that link down below. But we are, of course, here to talk even more about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate because the game is coming out soon. We're incredibly excited. There is so much stuff to talk about, and
unbelievable amounts of stuff to talk about. We're being very strict with ourselves on what we can talk about in this episode.
Exactly.
Because
we're already running out of time.
We are, aren't we? Yes. So let's talk about it. Hey, today we're going to be talking about single player and multiplayer and dabbling a little bit in competitive as well, but not too much. Because we haven't played it enough to know properly about competitive.
Precisely.
And obviously the game is not out yet and things are so subject to change. We're not a relevant authority on that regard.
Exactly.
Should we talk about single player?
Let's talk about single player.
Brilliant.
So there is, of course, a ton of stuff to do. And the great thing about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is, obviously, if you see it as a fighting game, you always think about multiplayer. But there is so much stuff to do if you just want to play the game on your own, right?
Yeah.
And there are kind of three main modes. There's obviously like a lot of stuff you can do around that, but I think we should speak about the three core modes. So let's start by talking briefly about World of Light. Let's start there.
World of Light, the adventure mode. Yes. Oh, lordy blimey. Basically, if you don't know, you are running around the, presumably the eponymous World of Light, and it's your task to rescue all the other characters that have been imprisoned by the evil, presumably, Galeem. We don't know that it's evil. And you run around and you fight spirits who have taken over puppet fighters who are sort of clones of the characters that we all know and love, fighter characters.
And the cool thing about the battles is they're not just, your conventional battles. It's not just like, hey, I'm playing as Kirby, I'm going to fight Mario. There are typically, the spirits act as modifiers for the battles, and sometimes they'll embody characters that aren't necessarily in Smash. But of course, because spirits is essentially like a celebration of all these different titles, you can kind of get characters that aren't necessarily in game, but they are sort of embodied through these matches. I mean, there's a couple of examples we spoke about earlier, but I mean, I think you fought essentially Boo, right?
I did. I fought the Boo spirit, which was personified, if you like, by a white Kirby who becomes invisible every so often during the match, has low gravity when you don't, and has an extremely strong shield.
Yes, exactly.
As if it's sort of going.
And the thing is that the modifiers don't just apply to the characters, sometimes it's also to the stages. So one of my favourite ones that I actually had a chance to experience was Charmander. And essentially for this one, you go into it and it's a small Charizard, but the actual floor of the stage is on fire. And if you don't have a spirit to essentially protect yourself against this, then you're just constantly flying up in the sky. So you have to, of course, equip relevant spirits to help you with that. But that's kind of an example as to sort of how some of the matches will change. But you, of course, work your way around the map. You'll encounter different battles. You'll rescue some of the other spirits. Unlock some characters along the way. You'll also get to certain places where you won't necessarily be able to progress unless you have certain spirits. So there's also that sense of adventure around the map. It's not just a case of I'm just going to go from A to B and I just get to the end. There are branching pathways to those different things, and there's when you zoom out, the map is really big.
It is enormous, isn't it? But that is not the only way that you are going to be able to play with spirits.
It's not.
No, there is another mode called Spirits Board, and that is a board of spirits. They're not bored themselves. They should be having a whale of a time. Exactly. Because it's a celebration, isn't it? It's a celebration. There's so many characters in there. It's just like every video game you ever loved, smushed together, and it's Smash Bros, which is the best video game.
Precisely, right?
Which is, but it's basically, Spirits Board is very similar to World of Light in the sense that you have the spirits, but it's a very sort of much more straightforward manner. You just have spirits on the board and you just say, I want to fight that one. You're not going around a world, and there's loads of spirits. I don't even know how many. It's got to be, I would say, tentatively thousands, maybe. There's certainly hundreds, to say the least.
And the thing about them as well is they're not just they're actually, some of them are really cool battles. They're not throwaway battles. You often think sometimes when you think about single player content in a fighting game, this is just the easy stuff I get out of the way. But some of these battles, they have on the actual spirit board, you have them classified. You have novice battles, you have ace battles. I think you have higher tier ones, and some of them are genuinely pretty challenging. You can kind of go in if you want without spirits equipped to your character, or you can go in and actually prepare. But some of them, if you go in and you just think that it's going to be an easy task, they will probably catch you off guard.
They will, yeah. I saw someone playing. Unfortunately, we don't have footage of it because I just saw someone else playing it. But I did see Supersonic Legendary. And it was not a fun time for the person playing. I think they hit them once, got about 6.8% damage on them. that was it.
Yeah.
And they got completely blasted off.
And the nice thing as well, it also takes advantage of the different modes, right? So you're not always just playing with percentage. Sometimes you'll have stamina battles, sometimes like, I played a stamina battle where I think I started with about 80 stamina, and I think the enemy had about 150. So sometimes you start at a disadvantage. So there's a lot of fun, different gameplay aspects to it. So yeah, genuinely, if you're playing it and you want to know what you can do as a solo player, there is a lot of stuff to mess around with.
Yeah, and all the modifiers and things also carry over into the revamped Classic mode, which is the original Classic mode, but there's so much more going on. Every character has their own series of fighters that they fight. They're all sort of themed and things like that, and it's great fun. And there's a boss at the end.
Some epic bosses.
Some epic bosses, including the Rathalos.
The Rathalos one is so good. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, so I won't speak about it too much, but honestly, some of the Monster Hunter components come over, you can put a Rathalos in a Pitfall Trap, you can flash it out of the sky. It is fantastic, and all the other bosses are great, and we've only had a chance to sample a few of them, right? You know, we've played with, let's say, 5 different characters, we've sampled 3 different bosses so far. There's probably a load more. So
there probably are. We don't know. I'm going to say this so many times during this series of videos, but we have barely scratched the surface, and yet we are still massively limiting ourselves on what we can talk about.
It's true.
But I think we talked about single player enough.
Let's talk about multiplayer. Because let's be honest, right? When it comes to settling debates, it's about settling it in Smash, right? It's gonna be. So you dive into multiplayer, and it's what you expect, right? You're gonna jump in, and like on the surface, you have all different characters. You're gonna have all your intense battles. You've got tons of stages, and that's stuff that we'll probably speak more about in depth in the next video. But multiplayer itself, I mean, there are so many different options now. You've got your conventional modes, right? You've got your conventional, whether you want to play stock or you want to play time, and obviously your percentage modes. But you've also got stamina battles. You've also got the Final Smash meter that you can work into it.
You do, yes, and you've also got, if you want to, you can bring spirits into the mix even here. So you can have spirits supporting you and obviously your opponents and sort of really mixing things up and changing how the game plays. So if you do sort of find yourself thinking, when you're playing Spirits board, thinking, you know what, I really like this combination, you can take that into the multiplayer and batter your friends around with it. Or maybe they'll do that to you. Who knows?
Exactly right. I think one of the things you were getting pretty excited about earlier is that you can also save your custom rule sets. I mean, I've always had this thing before. When I'm playing with friends, you can of course, you have your own little game modes you make, and typically, you spend the first couple of minutes going to set it up. Whereas now you save it as a rule set, and you can get it straight away, which is really handy because obviously if you've got different conditions for different friend groups, then you can cater to all of them, right?
I don't know how many you can save, but it seems seems like enough to say the least. It is fantastic just to be able to say, oh, I want to play, standard 2 stock, no items, Final Destination, Fox only. You can't select only characters, but you can just then go, instead of going and changing through all the different details, you can just go, I've saved it before, bing, and straight away, easy peasy. It is the best thing about saving rule sets.
Yeah. And of course, not forgetting that you've got stuff outside of that as well. I mean, our exposure so far has been local multiplayer, but of course, for those of you guys that do want to, get slightly more competitive, you of course can go online. Online is of course so much better this time around. And of course, for those of you guys that really want to take it deeper, you can of course go to the ranked side of it. You can start working towards building up your global Smash points, and of course diving into those modes so you can really show. I mean, we know of course from the Nintendo Directs you can go and steal people's tags. That is, I am going to be the tag collector. I've already said this, right? If you guys are coming for the tournament, I will be collecting your tags.
One of the things I'm really excited about is Elite Battle online, which is basically once your GSP reaches a certain level, you can go online and fight other people who have a particularly high GSP, which I think is brilliant. Not only for the people who really want to play, really competitively and really do something serious with their Smash, but also the people who just want to have a bit more of a relaxed, fun time, because all of a sudden, all the people that are really hardcore are immediately going to want to go towards Elite Battle.
Yes, exactly.
And so, the people who just want to muck around and have fun and enjoy Smash for what it is, play the character they want to, and not be concerned too much with the finer details, landing lag and frame data and all that sort of thing. They can just have fun on Smash, and I think that's a really great thing.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's essentially, no matter what camp you play in, no matter where, no matter what your focus is, whether you want to play single player, multiplayer, super competitive, there is going to be something for you.
Absolutely. And
you know what else there is for those people?
Go on.
They can get a chance to get involved in our live stream. Because of course, see, look at that segue. You like that segue, didn't you, right? Of course, for those of you guys that haven't found out already, there is going to be, as part of this Smash Battle series we are doing, there is going to be an epic live stream for those of you guys. You can also get involved. You can find out the details at smashbattles.com.
Smashbattleslive.com.
Smashbattleslive.com. That's
very important.
Very important, yes. And what can people win by getting involved in this tournament?
Well, we're going to be selecting 4 random lovely people from all the people that enter. You must be, obviously, from the UK and 18 or over. And if you are one of the lucky 4, you will be walking away, no matter where you come, with a fantastic limited edition version of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And if you just so happen to win, you're going to be walking away with a limited edition Nintendo Switch, Smash themed, obviously.
Which is incredibly awesome.
It is, and I would love one of those.
Yes.
So I'm very hopeful that I'll get one.
Can I win?
It depends. Who are you going to have on your team?
Young Link.
You can have the person watching.
Yeah, only if they're playing Young Link.
Okay, well, I'll have the other person watching.
Okay, alright, fair enough. Speaking of which, don't forget you can also head over to Nintendo Life's Instagram account to vote on the characters, because of course the top characters will be the ones that we use in the tournament. Young Link. So, of course,
everyone's going to vote against him.
They probably are. But that's, of course, the thing you need to know. But for the time being, that is the end of this episode. Be sure to tune in for the 3rd episode coming very soon. And, of course, make sure you don't miss that live stream. But for the time being...
Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you, I don't know, smash...
that subscribe button.
And defend against that subscribe button.
There we go.
And be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. And of course, Arekkz Gaming for all sorts of Nintendo and beyond related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye. You're not waving.